This video will show you how to load a stacked bulk load. A bulk load is a load that is not pre-connected. A stacked load is 50 or 100-foot stacks vertically, as opposed to a flat load where hose is laid horizontally across in layers. A typical 1.75" bulk load will contain a total of 500 feet. That's 300 feet of 1.75" on top of 200 feet of 2.5". A stacked bulk load is dependent on hose bed length. Ideally, this would be 8 to 8.5 feet. If your hose bed is shorter or longer, adjustments can be made. The reason for the specific measurement is so that each 50-foot section of hose creates exactly 3 folds at the front. Stacks can be 50 or 100 feet. We will be demonstrating the latter as it lines up with our 100-foot Minuteman finish. Each 100-foot stack starts with a fold, followed by 2 short folds, another fold, and again 2 more short folds. This allows for easy identification for how much hose is in the bed. Start the load by placing the female coupling on the right side with the coupling exposed enough so that it will swivel. Take the hose back the full length of 8.5 feet and begin the stack. The coupling counts as the first fold. We will follow that by 2 short folds, a regular fold, and then 2 more short folds to complete the 100-foot stack. The reason for leaving the coupling exposed is just in case you are not sure that 500 feet will cover every stretch in your city. You can connect an additional hose line, such as the 3-inch to the left, and extend the line further than 500 feet. Here is the first 100-foot stack completed. We have a coupling, 2 short folds, a regular fold, and 2 more short folds. You'll notice the next coupling finished coming back forward in the back third of the hose bed. This is important for keeping the stack size consistent. Go ahead and use any extra space in the back to take up and adjust the coupling. Begin the second stack with a loop, followed by 2 short folds, another loop, and 2 more short folds, the same pattern. This stack and all remaining stacks should be 8 feet long. This is where the marks become helpful in loading the hose. We have 3 tape marks in the hose bed, and in this case, the third mark is 8 feet. The reason the hand loop is flush with the end of the bed and the short folds are recessed 6 inches is it allows the hose bed cover to remain flush on the back with nothing sticking out. If your hose bed were shorter, it would be okay to have the folds sticking out past the end of the hose bed. The first two stacks are complete, two 100-foot stacks of 2.5 inch. You'll see in the back, the first stack goes all the way to the rear of the hose bed, 8.5 feet. The second stack is exactly 8 feet, or to the third tape marker. We've used the extra space to switch between the stacks. If something goes wrong and the coupling is not far enough back, or maybe it's too far forward, you can make adjustments. When making adjustments, it is important to make them at the rear of the hose load, either by bringing some hose forward or some hose back in order to align the coupling. Either way, it is important that the front of the hose load remains intact with the folds in the correct position. A bell reducer is used to change from the 2.5 to the 1.75 inch. Avoid pancake reducers as they tend to get stuck during deployment. Start the first 1.75 inch stack with a hand loop and follow the same pattern of 2 short folds, another loop, and 2 more short folds. A good rule of thumb to follow is with each stack after a coupling is when a hand loop is created. This changes once you get to the 1.75 inch. The second loop, we call it a pull loop, and it is much longer. This is the loop we will pull to pull the hose bed flat onto the ground. The hand loops are used to get hose onto your shoulder. Here is the completed first stack of 1.75 inch. A hand loop, 2 short folds, a pull loop, and 2 more short folds. The pull loop is the only difference. Begin a second identical stack of 1.75 inch. The coupling in the back third, hose coming straight down the middle, following the same pattern. This stack is often the most challenging to load. It sits directly in the middle of the 2.5, which may be uneven. Additionally, the 1.75 inch stacks want to tip over unless you keep them in place. It is important as you go to reach down and keep them clean and make sure they are straight. We need to leave enough space for one more column, which in this case will be our finish, the attack bundle. This hose bed is 10 inches wide, which is just enough to fit the 3 columns of 1.75 inch and the 2 columns of 2.5. Any smaller and it may be too tight to pull. Just like the first stack of 1.75 inch, the second stack has a pull loop instead of a hand loop for the second loop in the stack. When this stack is complete, leave the male coupling on top to be connected later to the attack bundle finish. Here are the completed 1.75 inch stacks. A hand loop, 2 short folds, a pull loop, and then 2 more short folds. To finish the hose load, we will create a 100-foot attack bundle. This is also an accordion load or a Minuteman. Start by placing the nozzle just inside the hose load so that it does not stick out too far. We're going to use the second to last tape marker, as this attack bundle should be 7 foot 6 inches long. Place the first 2 folds directly behind the bale. This will help the rest of the folds from coming up too high and to remain flat. The third and all the remaining folds will come just past the bale. If you have a nozzle length plus 6 folds for a total of 7, you've correctly built the attack bundle, which allows for a variety of deployment methods. Finish by connecting the attack bundle to the second stack of 1 3/4 inch. The pull loops can be folded back so they do not hang out of the bed. Here is the completed 500-foot stacked bulk load. A 2.5-inch bulk load can be created using the same method. It will just have 2 columns on top instead of 3. This hose load is designed to make it easy for the firefighter to grab the attack bundle and go. A bulk bed is actually very good at a short stretch. This is a stretch that is typically 150 to 200 feet within earshot of the engineer and vision of the engineer, is done aggressively and quickly. This hose load is also designed to deploy quickly over long distances while being pulled on the ground. You'll remember creating the pull loops, which pull from directly in the middle of each stack. This is how we do a long flat stretch. A single firefighter can pull 300 feet, but ideally multiple firefighters will work together to complete this stretch. Finally, this hose load is also designed to perform a long stretch vertically up a set of stairs or into a building. Using the hand loops, 1 or more firefighters can pull stacks and flip them onto their shoulders. Hose can be paid off the shoulder as you ascend a staircase. Additionally, shortcuts can be taken, demonstrated by this coupling drop method.